SABC News, independent and impartial.
From an African perspective. As the world commemorates World Food Day, which falls on the 16th of October each year, Zambia's food and nutrition state is being described as a sorry sight, but the government says it's doing everything possible to support many, including the 1.5 million people that are worst hit as a result of natural calamities. Arthur Davis Skobo, Zambia correspondent, now reports.
Food challenge in Zambia is real, making the country's malnutrition rates remain one of the highest in the world. In 2019, Zambia was ranked number 143 of the 189 countries by the Human Development Index, with 48% of the population unable to meet their minimum calories requirements. The World Food Programme further adds that due to food challenges, Zambia has 35% of its children under the age of 5 stunted. Zambia has about 1.5 million smallholder farmers producing most of the domestic food, who today are extremely vulnerable to climatic shocks. Food security challenges which the country is hit with is worrying civil society organizations and other stakeholders. Civil Society Scaling Up Nutrition Coordinator Matthews Muhuru is concerned and that the country still needs to do more in terms of food security.
The biggest challenge that we've had by showing government how bad cases of malnutrition and food insecurity would be in the country. We haven't really seen them take this issue with the seriousness that it deserves. So if you look at just nutrition financing, our government, has pushed that to the donors. Over 90% of the nutrition budget is being funded by the donors.
As the world commemorates World Food Day that falls on 16th October each year, some parts of Zambia, such as southern, western and northern, are in acute food shortages as a result of the 2018-2019 and the 2019-2020 floods and droughts. This has thereby made people live on handouts from well-wishers and from the state government through the Office of the Vice President under the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, confirms that many parts of the country are in need of food relief. DMMU National Coordinator is Chanda Kabwe. Mr. Kabwe says over 1.5 million people are in need of food today, and his government is on the ground doing that, but calls for stakeholders to come in so as to achieve this year's theme of World Food Day: grow, nourish, sustain. Together, our actions are our future.
So this is why government provide the social support to the most weakest people in society through the provision of relief food. Again, Zambia has experienced another shock in terms of climate change, where government this year is looking at 1.5 million people affected by the flood. Government, working with other cooperating partners, have continued to support the communities with food and what we call build back data.
HIVOS, another organization that deals with food and nutrition, says Zambia is in a sorry state in terms of nutrition. William Chilufya is the regional advocacy manager for food.
From our view as HIVOS, we consider the food situation in this country, particularly nutrition, to be in a sorry state. In the sense that the levels of malnutrition in terms of stunting are quite frightening. We have about 35% of our children under the age of 5 stunted, and we have about 28% obesity coming up. For stunting, which is 35% of the children under the age of 5, it means that these children's brain won't go to an extent where they were supposed to be in terms of their height as well. But this has also economic repercussions as a country which is trying to develop.
Mr. Chilufya, however, adds that, in line with this year's theme, is working together with government to see to it that this food challenge is alleviated. And CSOs coordinator Matthews Muhuru further is advising government to encourage citizens to venture in other crops that are climatically resilient, so as the country may not face food shortages when calamities such as floods and droughts hit.
It's really sad that smallholder farmers, become the worst affected when it comes to food insecurity because they eat what they grow. And when they're affected as well, it means that the food prices in the country would escalate. So we are making a call on government to really see how they can, support smallholder farmers to grow different foods and not just focus so much on maize.
This year's World Food Day marks exactly 75 years of founding of the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, whose main mandate is to look at food in the world. Reporting for Channel Africa in Lusaka, Zambia, I am Arthur Davis, Scopo.
We have withstood the coronavirus storm. Now is the time to return our country